In this quick demo, we're going to take a look at Microsoft Entra Agent ID, which is a recently released approach to doing agent identity. And we're going to see how we can use this inside of Kubernetes and leverage an open source project called Agent Gateway to implement policy and observability. So coming here, we'll see that we have our Entra instance up. And if you come over here and click on the left side under Agent ID, we can see the various agent identities that we have running in our tenant here. If I look at our agent identities, we see a handful of ones for testing. We're going to look at this one specifically, our interactive agent. So now if I come over here to our Kubernetes cluster, we can see we have our agent running, our AI agent CLI here. We have agent gateway, and that maps up to what we have here. Basically our agent here, our agent gateway. Inside of our agent workload, we'll see we have a sidecar deployed. This sidecar is the Microsoft Identity Web Project sidecar, or the Entra SDK for Agent ID sidecar. And so what this does, this sidecar just allows you to do all of the token exchanges that Agent ID requires. Now I'm writing a lot more about this in depth that I'll post shortly to explain and understand exactly all the token exchanges, what they're doing and why they're doing it. But in this demo, we'll take a look at this flow here. Basically, the user will log in. They will give access to the agent to operate on their behalf. The agent will then exchange the user's tokens for credentials that can call the OpenAI, the Azure OpenAI, on behalf of the user as the agent, as we'll see, as well as call into an MCP server, which is hosted through Agent Gateway. So let's dig in. So we'll go into our workload here, and we will run our agent CLI here. And the first thing it's going to do is make us log in. All right, so let's go ahead and grab. Oh, sometimes this doesn't cooperate. And if we come here and go to Microsoft Device Login, we'll follow the flow to log in as the user. In this case, it's me. And this will authorize to log in. And now we should eventually see it is logged in. And then you'll see we're starting to get the tokens that we'll need to call into Azure OpenAI and into the MCP server. Now, these calls will go through Agent Gateway. The token exchange, all this stuff happened because of the sidecar that we deployed, but all of these calls will go through Agent Gateway. So if we go into the prompt, let's say, tell me about Sedona, Arizona, and we send that off, we should get a response, and that's all good. Now let's go take a look at our Agent Gateway. We come in here, look at Agent Gateway, and look at the logs. We can see we have an access log. We can see that this call went through, was authenticated. The issuer was Azure and Entra. That this was targeted for the OpenAI models, GPT 4.1. So we can already start to get access logging and telemetry, who's the subject, basically what's going on here, and we can log all of this or expose it as metrics, expose it into Grafana or your favorite observability system. Now, that's all good. What if we want to call an MCP server? So we don't have, we don't have any MCP servers here. So let's go ahead and add, we'll say add an MCP server. Call this the Agent Gateway Tools. And we'll point it to our agent gateway, MCP. And now this will, actually before we do this, let's go ahead and take a look at that configuration. If we look at the configuration for agent gateway here, we can see that we are expecting a valid token, and we are expecting the audience to be our MCP server. And in this case, this is just for demo purposes, but you get the spirit of what's happening here. We can check to make sure that this is indeed an AI agent and that it is the agent identity that we expect. So you can see 65, 0, something, something, something. That is the agent that we expect. 65, 0, something, something, something. All right. So this is our agent gateway policy. Now, if we add this MCP server, it looks like it connected. It pulled down 5 tools. If we list the MCP tools, we can see the various tools that it found through Agent Gateway. And in Agent Gateway, now we have a single location where we can expose our tools to various agents, to various applications, even if it's across multiple MCP servers, as we can see here. We can filter down the list of tools based on identity, based on user and combination of user. So Agent Gateway gives us a lot of power to enforce MCP and agent-to-agent communication policy for our agentic architectures. So now if I come back here and say, use your tools to tell me about Entra, let's say Microsoft Entra, we should see now the agent is able to call into our tools. Gives us some information here as returned by the tool. If we come back here and take a look at our agent gateway, we see a number of calls that have come through, including the call to MCP. Oh no, that's the OpenAI call, but we should see here MCP tool calls, the resource or the tool name that gets called. Again, logging all of the information about who called it, when they called it, who is the token issuer, was it valid, and then, of course, applying the policies to that. So I highly recommend, if you're going to use Microsoft Entra Agent Identity, take a look at Agent Gateway that allows you to implement fine-grained policy enforcement. Entra is great at being the single source of truth for identity, deciding what permissions are allowed on what tokens. But then at runtime, when you're calling these systems, you need a way to control and enforce your usage and policies. So take a look at Agent Gateway. Thank you.